Hey kindergartners, Mr. Malloy here. I'm really excited to get into some more science learning today. I'm just here in my living room, in my habitat. I've got food, shelter, and my family. And speaking of family, I took an amazing family adventure today. And someone in my family persuaded me to take him with us. He's a very persuasive puppet. You know who I'm talking about. Spoony Malloy.
Hello?
Spoony, you convinced me to bring you on our adventure today, didn't you?
I just had to, Mr. Malloy. My reasons were that I would help us learn about tide pools and some of the amazing animals that use them as their habitats. And also that I wouldn't sing too loud to the music in the car on the way there. Finally, I'm excellent company.
In conclusion, I'm really glad you came, Spoony. In our science learning so far, we've been focusing on ocean animals, and that's been a ton of fun. And now we get to learn about tide pools and tide pool animals.
I'm just amazed with tide pools. They're almost like little mini oceans that we are lucky enough to be able to drive to from our community.
Nice social studies connection, Spoony.
Thanks, Mr. Malloy. Since I was just a wooden spoon living in a kitchen until about a month ago, I never knew what the tides of the ocean were. High tide is when the waves go high up onto the beach. Low tide is when it goes back down. When those ocean waves crash into the rocky parts of the beach, during high tide, the waves bring plants and animals. Then, as the tide goes down, pools of ocean water get left in the rocky parts of the beach. The plants and animals use these tide pools as their habitat.
And some tide pools can even be found in the sand, too.
True indeed, Mr. Malloy. We saw so much life today. Hello! I'm at the Pacific Ocean, looking at some tide pools. Tide pools let you see such majestic creatures in the wild. It felt like we were at a zoo or an aquarium.
I know, right? Spoony, what were some of your favorite animals that we saw today?
Oh, I can't choose one favorite, but I thought the snails were very stylish. Hey, little snail. Hello, little snail.
I love that purple color. They're beautiful.
And you can't forget about those crabs. Look, a little white crab.
The crabs were some of the most exciting animals we saw today, for sure.
Hello, little crab. I'm very interested in your habitat. You're amazing. The mussels were everywhere.
And we even saw those little fish called sculpin.
Yep, those guys were fast.
They have to be, Spoony. As beautiful and peaceful as a tide pool may seem if you're walking along the beach, they're also an intense and dangerous place to live for the animals that make them their habitat.
Good point, Mr. Malloy. We saw lots of amazing, beautiful, hungry birds. We saw gulls. We saw oyster catchers. And even a great blue heron. Bye-bye. I hope you find what you're looking for. The animals that live in the tide pools don't want to be a bird's lunch.
I'm fascinated with all the animals that we got to see today, and there are lots of tide pool animals that we didn't even see today that would be so fun to learn about.
Hey, Mr. Malloy, can we do a tide pool animals wow facts video for the kindergartners later this week? Please?
Cool idea, Spoonie. We'll do it if you can choose your favorite tide pool animal before we make the next science video. Think you can do that?
Choosing favorites is so hard for me!
I know, Spoonie, but just think about all those amazing animals that we saw today. Those should tide you over until next time. Bye.